Yes, we've arrived. There's no doubt we have arrived into the era of time known as the New World Order, the New World Order Codex Alimentarius. Who's behind it? Well, we now know that they want to ban anything that is natural, that's good for you. Why? They want to keep you sick. Now that sounds stupid, but it's true. You see, the big pharmaceutical companies which are owned or controlled by that banking cartel, and also aided and abetted by their own front organisations such as UN, NATO and World Health Organization. Thank God somebody like Jane Burgermeister blew the whistle on them and named those people who now have lodged with the FBI criminal charges against them for what they have in plan for the world. I'll put the names of these people back up on the screen for you now so you can see who I'm talking about. These are the people behind the Codex Alimentarius. These are the people that have criminal charges laid against them. Now we have a new bulletin, and we expected it, and that is that the two items that will keep you healthy when you don't have drugs and when you've got viruses being spread to make you get infected. Colloidal silver is one of them, which has been used by people for thousands of years, and they say, oh no, it's dangerous. They demonised it, and they said people will go blue, people will go grey. You know something? See if you can find out in the archives anywhere where a person died from colloidal silver. I tell you something you will find. Thousands of people have died from pharmaceutical drugs. Thousands of people have had adverse effects from pharmaceutical drugs. And these are the people who demonise cayenne pepper, cayenne chilies, the most potent of all natural healing herbs. They are going to take that away from you because they say that it's a dangerous drug herb. They did this with comfrey. We've been eating comfrey, me and my family and friends, we've been eating comfrey for 35 years, chopped up in our salad. We're not dead yet, and it has such unbelievable healing power. Now, this is a film to show you how you can make your own colloidal silver, because they've banned it in the whole of England and Europe. It's under the Codex Alimentarius, which is going to be enforced by the World Trade Agreements through the United Nations. Now, the international health regulations channel down to every government of every country in the world end up with these people in Australia. These are the ministers out of Canberra, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, Tasmania, West Australia and Queensland. How is it that 100 million people can realise that we've all been duped by a bunch of liars and swindlers, but these people don't seem to recognise the fact that they have been duped by the World Health Organization? Now, as it is with every country, every government, you have standing committees that make a decision as to what treaties you should be bound by. Now, here is the mob of people in Australia that signed the treaty that we were supposed to look after ourselves with, even though it was put together by a bunch of international criminals. Is it possible that these intelligent people that we pay a lot of money to made a mistake? Now I'm going to have to show you how to make your own colloidal silver, how to make the apparatus, and I'm going to show you how to grow your own cayenne pepper. Why? Because the Codex Alimentarius, through your government, wherever you are watching in the world, they're going to stop you from using the two most beneficial items to keep you healthy. Now we're going to make a colloidal silver maker, generator, what do you want to call it? Now that's just a coffee jar, and over here we've got a couple of little apparatuses that we're going to use to stick the wire in, the silver wire. Now as you can see, I've got these two silver wires, and I've bent them into a loop, and if you can see the length of my finger, it gives you an idea of how long these probes are.
I have two rods that are inserted into the sockets, and these two are both the same length, and the whole idea is to make sure that the oscillating frequency, right, the wavelength between these two will give us the desired level of silver water without them shorting out in any possible way. That's the perfect way for it to be. On the other side we have the two terminals, positive and negative. It doesn't matter which way you put them. Okay, as long as you have 24 volts going through at a minimum of 500 milliamps, which then will go into this unit here. And
well, that's just an ordinary coffee jar, right?
That's right. That just shows how the thing looks at the end.
So we just fill it up with distilled water, and you've got the coffee jar with a coffee jar top, and we've made that little connection up the top there with the two probes. And now what do we do, Gary?
Now we hook up electrically, and we fill it with water, and see what the time constant is, how it is to how long it takes, and to how long the... Alright?
But what we're putting together here now is something that is very simple, and something that anybody, anywhere in the world can make up themselves, particularly if they can't buy a colloidal silver generator. Is that correct?
Correct, absolutely. As I've said before, one is active.
Wait a minute. Okay, let's go now.
Okay, there are two terminals here, A and B. It doesn't matter which way you connect the DC connection to it. However, there's two ways you can do this. It doesn't matter which way they go, it's non-polarized. There is the original DC socket. You just cut it off and connect it to a couple of alligator clips, one either side, it doesn't matter which way, and that is your transformer.
So we buy this transformer, which in this case is 24 volt DC, plug it into the mains, and it could be 24 volt DC with anything from 500, 600, 700 milliamp. Go.
If you don't have a soldering iron, then you have to bear the wires back very gently, like so, twist them up, and make them as thick as possible. If you've got a soldering iron, you can put a bit of solder on there to make them more solid and make a good contact, or alternatively you can crimp them. Either way, it doesn't matter as long as it makes a good connection. If it's this type, you bend them over like so, so it's flat. Then you put it into the
alligator clip,
insulation over the top,
and pinch it with a plier,
and then clamp it. Yep.
Okay.
Very simple. There's nothing difficult about it.
But because we've got a soldering iron, we're going to solder it. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we put the water in that bottle, and the wires are connected to the lid, and now we're going to plug in the transformer. It's a 240 input with 24 DC output transformer. Now that's parts per million, KCL, and if you look on your screen you can see we are looking at 24.8, 24 parts per million. So you can expect that this water is 24 parts per million colloidal silver. I'm pouring the water into a coffee percolator filter, and that will filter out the pure water ready for you to drink. Now, as I said to you before, I'm going to show you how to grow your own cayenne chilies or cayenne peppers. But remember one thing, the little bird's eye ones and the little bell ones and all the other kinds of chilies do not heal the tissue of your body. Cayenne not only heal the tissue of your body, if you had ulcers in your stomach, they will heal the ulcers. If you had hemorrhoids, they will heal you. Cayenne is the only one that is the health herb. Now, as you can see, I've got cayenne growing in a polystyrene box, and on this a young plant here, it's already got fruit. The fruit is green, it hasn't turned red yet. When it's completely ripened, it will go red, and that's as easy as it is to grow. If you can't get the components needed to make your own colloidal silver generator, we have available for you, and we can post it to you anywhere in the world. and that is all the components in a kit form for 120 Australian dollars. And we also have seeds for the cayenne peppers if you want those posted to you. Now you realise that we do have an international crime syndicate working undercover with the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the CFR and the Trilateral Commission, and these people are responsible for the self-appointed New World Order. Well, there's one thing they cannot do. They cannot ban you from growing your own cayenne to keep you healthy. They cannot ban you from making your own colloidal silver. Even though they have banned it in all of the Europe, you can make your own and you can grow your own. And that's what I urge you to do so that you can escape the claws of the Codex Alimentarius.